Centimo belongs to the Flora and Fauna series, which replaced the Filipino series of coins. It was a bold shift to incorporate native wildlife and cultural motifs, symbolizing national pride. The 25 centimo featured the Philippine butterfly, an emblem of transformation, freedom, and the country's tropical environment. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Manila, portrait of Juan Luna. The obverse of the coin honored environmental richness and fragility. The 1980-5 centimo is a reflection of a broader national agenda to celebrate Filipino identity, its heroes, wildlife, and language, especially during a time when the country was under international scrutiny for human rights issues and economic troubles. The coin served both as a monetary unit and as a cultural tool. The 25 centimo was a low denomination coin used for everyday transactions, such as buying candies, jeepney fares, or sari-sari store items. However, inflation during the late 1970s and early 1980 South started eroding its purchasing power, limiting its practical value over time. The Philippines faced increasing inflation, rising foreign debt, and economic stagnation by 1980. While the country saw infrastructure development, it also experienced a widening wealth gap. Coins like the 25 centimo were increasingly being hoarded, melted, or neglected due to their declining value in real terms. The late 1980s, the Flora and Fauna series was phased out in favor of the improved Flora and Fauna series and later the numismatist series in the 1990s. The 1980-5 centimo remained in circulation for a few more years but was eventually demonetized as the BSP modernized its coinage system. The 1980 25 centimo coin holds numismatic interest, though not extremely rare. It is sought by collectors of Flora and Fauna series coins, historical coins from the martial law period, Juan Luna memorabilia, in uncirculated or mint condition. Its value can range from Philippine peso 20 to Philippine peso 100 php, or more for perfectly preserved specimens, especially with original artists in Madrid, and became a symbol of Filipino suffering under colonization. Featuring Luna during Marcos' regime subtly connected the government's propaganda to revolutionary ideals, even while it was suppressing dissent in the name of order, the graphium ideoids, ecological awareness. And this coin was part of that movement. It reminded Filipinos of their biodiverse homeland. Even in the midst of rapid industrial development, the butterfly's delicate nature represented the fragile state of the country's ecosystems, many of which were already threatened by logging, mining, and urbanization. 1980, a 25 centimo coin could still buy small goods like street food, taho, candies, pay for part of a jeepney fare, or be used in public payphones. It was a common coin, jingling in the pockets of students, vendors, and workers. However, by the mid-1980s, its purchasing power had dropped sharply due to inflation. Many people began to ignore or discard coins of such low value. The 25 centimo coin was made from copper nickel, a durable and corrosion-resistant alloy. But due to rising metal costs, there was a push to reduce the metallic content or even eliminate low-value coins entirely by the late 1980s. This coin's composition and mintage techniques were considered modern for its time, struck with high precision by the BSP's minting facility. During the martial law years, the coin became part of the Flora and Fauna series, issued from 1983 to 1994, which showcased Philippine heritage through depictions of native animals and plants. 1984. The Philippines was under the rule of President Ferdinand E. Marcos during a time of political instability and economic turmoil. The Flora and Fauna coin series was partly seen as a move to promote nationalism and cultural pride amidst this unrest. These coins became tools for cultural education, as many Filipinos began to take pride in the country's rich biodiversity. The obverse side of the 1984 Piso coin features the right-facing profile of Andres Bonifacio, the revered Filipino revolutionary leader and founder of the Katipunan movement that led the fight for independence from Spanish rule. Bonifacio is portrayed wearing a traditional camisa de chino and a red neckerchief symbolizing his grassroots leadership. Around the portrait is the inscription, Republica ng Pilipinas, Andres Bonifacio. This design honored the bravery and nationalism of Bonifacio, connecting Filipino pride to both revolutionary history and modern identity. The reverse features the Philippine eagle Pithecophagua jefferi, one of the world's largest and most powerful eagles, and an endangered species endemic to the Philippines. The eagle symbolizes strength, independence, and the rich natural heritage of the nation. The denomination too. Piso and the year 1984 are also inscribed. The image served as an environmental reminder to protect. Philippine condition coins with clear details of Bonifacio's portrait and the eagle are more valuable. The Flora and Fauna series, including the 1984 to Piso symbols. This series inspired later coinage programs to include cultural and ecological elements such as the New Generation Currency Coin series launched by BSP in the 2010s. The Piso coin was eventually replaced in 1995 by newer designs and later demonetized in 2001 as the BSP transitioned. Before coins like the Piso were introduced, lower denominations such as Philippine Peso 1 and Philippine Peso 2 were often issued as paper money. The decision to transition the Philippine Peso to denomination to coin form stemmed from the longer lifespan of coins. Paper bills would wear out in a few months, while coins could circulate for decades. Thus, minting the Piso coin in 1984 was a practical economic decision. Bonifacio's appearance on the Piso coin marked a shift from traditional portrayals of elite figures to a working-class revolutionary. Unlike José Rizal, who was an intellectual and reformist, Bonifacio was a symbol of armed resistance and a man of the people. His inclusion resonated with nationalist ideals during the politically charged 1980s. The Marcos regime promoted cultural nationalism, often using heroic imagery to bolster legitimacy. Coins like the Piso became tools of state propaganda, reinforcing ideals of unity, resistance, and Filipino pride, all themes associated with Bonifacio. However, critics argued that this use of national figures and symbolism was meant to distract from widespread corruption, civil unrest, and suppression of democratic rights during